What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today, LTC. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys. The purpose of this video is to discuss where I think the price of Litecoin will be by the end of the week, by the end of the month, and then certainly by the end of this move, which I think is going to end in February. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button. Let's get into it. Okay, here we go. So looking at Litecoin here, we're sitting at about $98.53 right now on a monthly basis here, at the top end of this kind of consolidation phase that you've been in for years now, right? If it was a box, you're at the top end of this box. I think that you're about to break out of this box. Call it a wicked hunch, but the last time that you dumped, it looked like this, and then it looked like that. Right here, you dumped, and you're kind of chilling for the last like 3 months. You've been literally like at this area. So I don't think that you've topped. I don't think that you're going to go down. I do think that you're going to break out of this, and when you do break out of this, likely what you see is some kind of relative move based off of your last cycle high to your last cycle low. That would take you up to, I mean, being that you're already here, I would assume that you would not stop at the 61869 area, that you would exceed and go a little higher to your 786, 886 area, something around 250 to 317. But it's worth noting that you could stop between 170 and $200 as well. You're at $98 now. These are end of February targets that I'm painting here, right? Just to keep it fresh. The reason why I think it's possible for Litecoin to go to 251 to 317 by the end of February, why I very much think it's possible, is because you've been in a multi-year consolidation phase, and you look like you are aggressively hungry to break out of it, man. Like, you look ready. And when you break out, just on a price perspective, this is kind of like your shelf for resistance based on a closing basis, and that puts you above $200 right there. The high of that same month takes you all the way up to $300. And then the closing high of your last cycle on a monthly basis is at 271. So that 200 to 300 range is just, it's screaming your name, man. It really is screaming your name. So if you were to break above 200, I think at least 250 it would be where you go. If you go above 300, 317 would be the maximum that you go. I do personally expect you'll be above 250 by the end of this move in February. Looking at the monthly RSI, it's relatively bullish. Be nice if this month could close green, and I think it will. You're only down 4.3%, 17, almost 18 days left in the month, so I think you're in good shape there. If we look at the weekly RSI, also in pretty good shape. Not really a whole lot to take away from there. I would think that you're at a low point, so you're probably going to bounce soon, is all that the weekly RSI is saying, and it's just bullish as hell overall. So week to week, we're expected to go up, I suppose. 3-day time frame looks a little bearish. I have to admit, it does look a little bit bearish, the 3-day time frame. We do have 1 day and 18 hours left to turn that around, though. If this can close green, if we can just 3.6% in the next 2 days, essentially, then I think it'll be fine. Because then you're holding the 50, you're not breaking below it. I think it's fine. Daily time frame here, a little bit bearish as well. But the only thing that's bullish about it is the fact that you've got like a triple bottom here at the same area that you found support like really throughout this whole cycle. So I'm not worried about this at all. I think, again, as long as you hold support here, you're fine. I would start to be concerned, if not today but tomorrow, if we close below like $95, because then again that'd put that 3-day time frame in jeopardy here as well. So hopefully not just by today but by tomorrow we're closing above not just this price, but hopefully above like $102 would be my guess. Let's close above $102 by tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow. Not by the end of today. End of today is great, but by the end of tomorrow. By the end of this week, assuming all things go well, and I think they will go well, from a high to a low, I would expect you're anywhere from about 112 to 125, somewhere in this range by the end of the week. Going into next week, we'll start to see higher prices. We might even exceed the highs here. And then going into the end of the month, going into the beginning of the transition of January to February, I would assume that we are interacting with this 170 to $204 area. So end of the month targets, end of the week targets are essentially here, 120 to 125, 112 at least, but 120 to 125 is what I'm thinking. End of the week, you're at $98 now, so nice little gain. 112 to 120, if not 125. I like that 120 to 125. If it's not by the end of this week, it'd be the beginning of next week, certainly, but I'd expect that that's where you are. End of this month, I'm thinking that you might not be at 170, but above 150, so somewhere in there. And then end of move in February, something between about $204 and $288 would be my expectation, something in this range. You could go higher, of course, but that's my expectation. If you were to invalidate that, close today or close any given day, really below like $98. We're at $98.57 now. If you close any given day below $98, that would concern me a little bit. If you close tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow at this price or lower, I would also be concerned. But if we get a green day today, if we get a green 3-day period over the next 2 days, I would definitely suspect that Litecoin is right about to break out and move up higher. And I think it is. I really do think that it is. Like right now, we fast forward in time. We fast forward like 3 of these 3-day candles. You're going to be like 1, 2. It's going to be like that. Something like this, right? Like in the next 3 candles. I don't know. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe. I'll summarize things real quick. Right, we're at 98.54 now. Essentially, by the end of the week, I'm assuming that Litecoin will be around, what was it? It was like 112 to 130. What was it? 113 at a minimum to 125 at a maximum. Likely 120 to 125. End of month, we're expecting something around 150 to 170. End of move, likely something around 200 to 288 is what I'm guessing. Yeah. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. The 4-hour time frame definitely looks bullish. I wish I pointed this out earlier, actually. Higher lows there, double bottom, kind of on your RSI, actually. Maybe that's not a higher low. It's technically just a little bit lower, but it is a double bottom still, and then lower lows dramatically. It's not just a little lower here. It's a lot lower, so that is a form of bullish divergence. And then also, you had support, and you had your fake out breakout with no volume at all. Like, who cares volume? So very likely this gets eaten up in a very quick amount of time, very short amount of time. So yeah, we're at $98 now. I know it might sound crazy, man, but 100 probably 120 by the end of this week, if not more. That's my guess. I got nothing else, guys. I'm rambling. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Bye-bye.